have this notion of a kind of homus universalis, the kind of Leonardo that is able to integrate, the sciences, the arts, politics, economics. So I see that the ideal education is a much more holistic education, much more universal education than what we now have, which is quite utilitarian. You need these skills to get a job, and that's basically what education has become. You become an accountant, you become an economist because this is what companies need, or they think they need, etc., etc. It wasn't always like this. It's of course very difficult to provide holistic education for the billions of people in the world who need an education. So it cannot be done easily for everyone. But of course, if you look at the mix of good universities around the world, business schools, etc., there's a lot that could be done in broadening and making his education much more holistic. Secondly, I think that one of the lessons from any kind of entrepreneurship is that first you have to keep experimenting, and secondly you end up failing a lot. Sometimes you fail in a big way, sometimes you fail in a small way, but the experimenting continuously is not at all integrated with our educational system. So this is weird, and also people are not prepared to learn how to accept failure, learn why was it a failure, and then in a way get up and do it again, or do it differently, or keep trying. And this is certainly in Europe, we are not doing that at all. A bit more in the United States, particularly, but even then, even in the US, some of the best entrepreneurs don't learn this at school or at university. They do it on the job. But I think in terms of reforming education, the capacity of people to try, experiment, and fail needs to be integrated in the curriculum. Absolutely. I think part of the big problem is that we have seen standardization as the kind of objective. So everyone who goes to school in Germany or in Portugal, more or less, needs to do the same exams, the same studies. And if you think about it, why? Why should everyone do the same thing? We talk about diversity now, and now here we're bringing up our kids to be all the same. It's really ludicrous. Only like a little bit basic. Of course, you want people to be able to write and speak and handle some numbers, but it's become so totally extreme that. So I think, and this is, of course, it doesn't happen in any other walk of life. It doesn't happen in biology. It doesn't happen in business. You don't want every business to be the same. So why should we want our children to be all the same? So. I think we need a revolution in education, and the revolution should start from diversity and ecological principle, in the sense of let a thousand flowers bloom and let the best become the most successful. Learn about yourself, discover your true passion and your true what really drives you. What is the kind of magnet that pushes you to do things in the world? Really learn how to fail and dare, have courage to try things even if they don't succeed, and then just get up and go. I would also say be very curious, keep your curiosity alive, and look at learn from everyone in society. Learning isn't just obviously bookish learning, it's learning from people, and there's also what I do in my work. I basically learn from everyone. This is my kind of real benefit, is that by knowing all these people, I learn about the work that most of these people do, which is sometimes it's ecology, sometimes it's finance, sometimes it's poverty alleviation or the UN, and if you don't have the curiosity, then it's like building, a silos. You're building, the blinkers, and you don't see anything outside those blinkers. So these are a few of the things I would say. When my wife and I got married, we decided that we would do our own readings at our wedding, so we wouldn't have the priest do the readings. We did our own readings. And I did a reading, I am formally Catholic, but completely open to other faiths. But the reading I chose was the reading from St. Paul, in which basically it said that there is nothing without love. Love is the basis for everything, and love doesn't mean, I'm not being overly romantic, but love means, means respect. It means humanity. It means curiosity, because obviously, if you're interested in things, it's like you can love nature, you can love beauty, you can love. So, I think love is the basis for a lot of what we do in life. Plus, the other things that we talked about earlier, this curiosity and this. But the legacy, as a legacy, is. Love, and I think also what I've been learning here in the last few days is this idea of not being judgmental, being kind of suspending judgment and just letting learn and just taking it all in. And I think too often we're very judgmental, and I think sometimes particularly younger people are more judgmental because they are not so familiar with things, and so they put everything in boxes. And so I think suspending this kind of judgment is very important for everyone, and certainly for young people. Ingrained in me is, I was lucky that I traveled early, from an early age. I went to school in Switzerland and the UK, and I lived in different countries. I find that we're very poor at learning from others, particularly across countries. And now that the world is in a transformation with new powers, China, India, Brazil, and other countries rising, we're just not interested enough. We're not making any effort, and I think everyone in Europe should learn to speak Chinese, for example, and learn about Chinese culture. And we don't do that. So my wish is that we became much more truly global in appreciating and living with other cultures. I often go back to is in 1996, I was invited to be a speaker in a panel in Berlin at the what was then called the Peace University. It was a 1 month long university in Berlin in August, and we were 12 speakers over the whole day, but in a big panel, and I was 2 places away from the Dalai Lama, and we sat there. We had the whole afternoon together, basically, and to see this, person like the Dalai Lama, the kind of, and it isn't even. It's of course some of the things he said, but mostly it's the kind of energy and the clarity and the humanity which he exuded, just by being near to him. That was really special. It's a mix of, in a way, unconditional love and happiness and joy, and of course he's a very funny, kind of friendly person, so that kind of lightness of being. Lightness of being. It was really, lightness of being at the same time with a very kind of obviously deep and rich and profound philosophy and way of life. But it was at the very often, we kind of, in a way, the wiser people become, or the more learned they become, the more they kind of want to make their presence felt. And this is the opposite of the Dalai Lama. In a way, he would say the more he knew, the more he could do, the lighter he became. And that lightness of being it was very striking.